Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are we doing? Want to say a massive thank you for joining me today. I know I was away last week. I felt really bad about it because for anyone that's known me, we're on episode 133 now. In the last 2 to 3 years, have only ever missed three episodes, including last week's. It's sometimes when I'm unwell, sometimes when I'm on vacation or at work events. I will always do my best to do this live show, but honestly, last week I was so overwhelmed with everything going on in my life that I just got to the evening and I thought, got to listen to my body, got to take a break, and that's exactly how it was. Oh, Callie says it's 4 episodes. Shame on me. 4 episodes. I'm a liar. Hey, Creeper, good to see you here. How you doing, Betty? Happy hump day to you as well. But yeah, it's good to be back. And yeah, I hope you are all doing well. So I've got to make sure that I'm not out of practice with this because, you know, missing a week is a long time when it comes to social media. And especially when you look in world events and everything that's happened, never mind the last 2 weeks, the last week, it's been ridiculous. But yeah, and Callie says, happy 3 years of Myles Dyer Live, 14th of July to the 17th of July. Oh, wow, it is actually today. There we go. Happy birthday. happy birthday to Myles Dyer Live and all the wonderful people in the chat who have stuck around. And if you're someone that's come along the way, mid-journey, it's wonderful to have you here as well. And I just want to say a massive thank you also to Creeper Betty, who just became a member. Lovely to have you here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But yeah, speaking of birthdays, has anyone heard of the birthday murders? Has anyone heard of this? The birthday murders? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the birthday murders. Birthday murders. Something cheery to start with. Here we go. Let's bring this up here. Do we know about this? Do we know about the birthday murders, people? Let me see if I can... It's not even letting me move my... Oh, it's because I'm not... There we go. The birthday murders. So, this is... Everyone's like, this is a really dark turn. Has anyone seen this horror movie that just came out called Longlegs? Longlegs. What's contact here? It's pretty dark. By the way, anyone that's watching this and freak out, this is not real. This is not real. This is a fake website set up for this movie called Longlegs that just came out, which I saw on Monday. It came out on Friday. I've been dying to see it, and I had a good time with it. It's actually getting good reviews. It's super creepy. It's not scary. I tell you what, the trailers scared me. The trailers scared me a lot. But it's a super creepy movie, really well filmed with some interesting things going on. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I really, really had a good time with it. Yeah, that was the ARG. What's that mean? It's the alternate reality game. Is that what ARG stands for? I think it is. Is it this year's Blair Witch Project? It's exactly like that. That's exactly it. And it has Nicolas Cage in it, who doesn't appear much in the trailers. So yeah, definitely go out and check it. It's not a found footage. It's filmed with a lot of wide angle cameras. There's bits where characters will just be sat there at a desk looking at something, and like half the screen is like the doorway over their shoulder, like looking into the kitchen, and you're just like, is something going to happen there? It's really unsettling. So yeah, that was one of my dire discoveries for this week. In terms of what I'm wearing right now, another discovery is massive thank you to Haptics, who many weeks ago sent me this. And for those that don't know what it is, this is a haptic suit. So basically, it's called the Haptic. I think it's the 40. It's called the 40 vest. And it has within it all these little, see these little pads? I'm trying to make sure you can see it. See that? It has 40 of them all over your body. And so what it means is when you're gaming, but when you're gaming in VR, you can feel pressure points. So if you're in a game and you get shot, you're going to feel where you're getting shot from all over. I haven't done this yet, but I've been told that if you holster a weapon, so if you like put it over your back and it slides down, you can actually feel it slide down your back. So I just want to say a massive thank you to Haptics for sending me this. They launched it on PSVR 2 on Monday. I wanted to do a live stream for it, but for it to work on PSVR 2, you need to use an app on your phone, which I've got working, but I also use my phone to film me on camera when I'm doing live streams. So I've got an old phone, which I'm in the process of setting up, but the battery is pretty terrible on it. But as a broader point, because a lot of you always ask about when are your PSVR 2 live streams coming back, I'm always like, it's going to happen on Monday. I'm going to try to aim for something for the end of the week, but more realistically, I think it's going to start from Monday of next week, and I will be doing a live stream where I dive into a few games playing it with this. But they didn't just send me this. They also sent me trying to show you the box. The Taxacy for arms. So what you do is you have these, and you wear them And it just means that when you're firing a weapon, you can actually feel the recoil of the weapon. So you wear 2 of these. You wear it a bit differently on the position and that. But yeah, you have 1 for each arm. Technology is getting absolutely remarkable for virtual reality. I am looking forward to showing. And the other reason I'm taking a bit longer with this is because it's possible to have on screen during the live stream, you can actually see like a little model, like a little diagram of the tack suit, and you can actually see how it vibrates as I'm playing it. So yeah, it'll be good for horror games, I'm sure. That is something I'm definitely not looking forward to experiencing one day. But yeah, the way it works is I think it works with all games, but it's done on an audio basis. So if there is audio, if there's noise being made, it will respond accordingly. But then, of course, like if you're playing a shooter game and there's a lot of like loud music and atmosphere, the atmosphere and loud music will make it vibrate as well as the gunfire. So although you will hear the accents of the gunfire, it's different to games where they actually have the devs creating builds for it. And so there are 4 that are currently out. Breaches, which is a tactical shooter. It includes Legendary Tales. And there are 2 others that have just slipped my mind at the moment. But anyway, are they rechargeable? Yeah, they are rechargeable. So you'll see on the back here. And that is, if you disconnect that, I die. I turn off like a robot. But also it looks cool. It's nice to wear. Looks badass. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out for Haptics for sending me this stuff, because I've had a good time with it. The other thing I've been doing, when are you going to stream and start to finish Madison VR? I know there are lots of games I need to catch up with first. Unfortunately, I have just been so burnt out the last few weeks. I've been really up against it with work. Lots of amazing things happening, but I've been working ridiculous hours at times, and so I'm currently playing catch up. And to be honest, with how fragile I've been mentally, and I'm not saying this as a joke. Like generally, Madison is the last thing I need to put my body through at the moment, because I'm still going through a bit of recovery with certain things. So I do intend on jumping back into Madison at some point. I've just got to do it when I'm ready, and I think the first step is I just need to get into the rhythm of live streaming VR games again, because it's been a few weeks. So yeah, I just want to say massive thank you to everyone for your patience, and a lot of you have been reaching out asking when I'm going to start posting again, and it's just nice that there's the demand out there, that people miss seeing it, and it means a lot, because I've missed doing it, and things have just been very, very full on. And if you want to know how full on it's been, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I worked from 10 a.m. until 5 a.m. So, and that is not a regular occurrence. It was just ridiculous. There's a lot going on, but a lot of really exciting things. And in the not too distant future, there's going to be a gear change, and it's going to free me up a lot more. I've got a lot of really exciting things to share. So it's just been very, very full on. But thank you for bearing with me. And I think the amalgamation of both working a new job that has been very demanding in an exciting way, that I've been very, very passionate about, and also it was the week that I donated blood, probably wasn't a good combination. So that is the topic of the show today, because last week I donated blood, and I was actually feeling fine turning up, but when I was there waiting, I was getting really, really anxious, and I'm going to talk about my full story in a bit. Having done it, giving blood is such an important thing to do. And I know there's a lot of people out there that perhaps haven't ever done it before because they feel anxious about the idea of it. But the reality is the staff that work, and I can speak for the NHS, and in this conversation I'd love to hear about everyone else's experiences. They take really good care of you, and they make it really hassle-free. I just thought I would talk about my experience, give some interesting facts about blood donation that I looked up and found. But then I wanted open it up to hearing about your experiences. Maybe you've donated blood before, maybe you've never done it because you have certain concerns, but also knowing about different people in different parts of the world. So over here, for example, we have the National Health Service, the NHS. So the idea of giving blood it makes sense. You give blood to the NHS because it's a health service we all use, and so you support that. We all pay for it with our taxes. Whereas in countries where healthcare is private, I'm wondering how blood drives are done. Do you get paid for giving blood if you're, giving blood to a privatized health system? I'd just be really, really curious to hear about all that. So, and some of you are saying that you've donated twice already. That's awesome. So this was my second time. The first time I did it was over 10 years ago. And funnily enough, do you know what? I'm actually going to look it up here because I think I've got the video. Yeah. Oh my God, it was 15, 16 years ago was when I last gave blood. Amazing. So we'll definitely talk about that. But before we do, I always like to do Dyer discoveries, and I've done it already with the tax suit and also talking about Longlegs. But we also like to talk about vitamin G, and often we leave this till the end. But I thought today, just because it's been a week off, some of you have been probably craving to communicate what it is to be grateful, and so we're going to talk about it right now. So I invite everyone in the chat to just think about one thing that you're grateful for today or this week. Could be a person, could be an experience, could be a thing, and share it, and then we'll just discuss it together. And while you're all thinking about that, just to let you know, and look, there's the video there, donating blood. But in the background, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, you've completed it already. Unbelievable. It was a really short puzzle today. I was going to say there is a puzzle in the background. Wait, is this literally being completed? No, this can't be right. Let me have a look here. Let me load it up. No, it hasn't. All right, I'm putting it in the chat now, everyone. Here is this week's puzzle. So if you head over to this link, it is for the thumbnail. And I've made it super easy because there's a lot of black space on this thumbnail. But here we go. If you just go to that link, bit.ly/MDL153 puzzle, and get cracking. And all you do is you click on something, you click on another. This should be one of the easiest ones because it's only 200 pieces. Only 200. So good luck with that. Now, heading back. Vitamin G. What are we grateful for this week, people? Let me know. If I was to give my gratitude, it would have to be, even though it was from the previous week, because we're talking about it today, my gratitude goes to people that work in the health service, because it's not that there are so many skills that are involved in it. You're working with different people, and it's about interpersonal skills. It's about reassuring. It's about calming people. And they were really, really good with me. And it's just a reminder of how lucky we are to live with such selfless people that are willing to help that way. We got it from Mojo, who says, speaking of the NHS, my vitamin G is being able to have access to medicine and services that help me to keep my health good. Big love to all the NHS workers. Very lucky to live in a country with the NHS. The NHS definitely has its challenges at the moment. And our new government that I think got elected since... Has it really been that in the last 2 weeks? I think it has. Absolutely remarkable. But hopefully they can make changes there. Callie says, vitamin G, my late sister. Today, sadly, is the anniversary of her death, so it's been a heavy day, but a good chance to remember her. One of the loveliest people I've ever known. So sorely missed. So huge love to your late sister, Callie, and all the family. I'm sorry to hear that. But good that you use it as a moment of remembrance. Obviously, I didn't know your sister, but I tend to think that when it comes to people that pass away, they always want us to, have memories of them of positivity and fondness, and not of sadness. But at the same time, sadness is a completely natural thing to feel when we miss people that mean a lot to us. Kira says, grateful to have people in my life that told me staying home when sick for 3 weeks is a normal thing to do and not lazy. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. When we pressurize ourselves so much to just get back to the grind, and look, I'm guilty of that as well. So it is really, really important to listen to your body, and to give yourself the rest. But it's easier said than done, like a lot of things in life. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you, people, for your vitamin Gs, and feel free to share them throughout the show. As mentioned, today we are talking about giving blood. And so I thought I could talk a bit about my story. So I gave blood 15 years ago, 16 years ago. It was really that long ago. And I did it in this arm. I'll just say that because this time I did it in this arm. And I went with my good friend at the time, Charlie McDonnell. Charlie is so cool, like. And unfortunately, at the time, they weren't able to attend because I can't remember why. I think it was because they'd just been on vacation, because you have to do a massive checklist of things that might put you at a risk factor. So let's have a look here. Today, we are giving blood.
Charlie and Myles give blood. Hey!
That's a really good song. I'm really worried. Just the constant drain of blood coming out of you. I don't know. It just doesn't. Because of seeing blood, you don't actually need to see it. You can look away like I did. Yeah, the needle, it hurts when it first goes in, like quickly, but you can actually get local anaesthetic. They do offer that. And there you go. Can you see that? It's nothing. They said I had a good vein, but I don't know what the that means. Actually, I'd said that, but without and they said, oh, it means you have a very exposed vein. And I said, thank you.
Well,
I think
the first thing they do is they give you a checklist of loads of things that you need to say that you haven't done, like had sex with people who have diseases.
So after that, they actually give you a pint of water or juice to drink first. It's amazing watching this back, and like that was it 16 years ago. I think it was because Charlie had recently just got on vacation or something. There were 3 things on my list, my checklist, that I had to get confirmed. One was like, have you had an operation before? And I had one when I was a kid. That was fine. But once you've given blood once, when you do the checklist, you have to say, have you had these things since the last time you've given blood, so you don't have to do it. One of them that I had to check on was, have you had sexual relations with someone, like a new sexual partner recently? And then the other thing they pulled me up on was, have you been out the country? I think in the last like 3 months, and I'd recently been on vacation as well. So they have to check all those things. And so, yeah, when you turn up, you're in this hall, and actually I've got a photo of the hall because just seeing all these people and all these chairs was quite the sight. Let's have a look here. There we go. So you're on these chairs, and like they rock backwards. So you lie basically pretty much horizontal, and then the blood is being taken out. And they told me that it used to be like they took a certain quantity, but now it's done on weight. So I'm wondering if that's done based on your weight, or it's just like the weight of the blood generally. And then, yeah, so I had to wait for about 40 minutes, and then they take you into a little booth on the side, and then they get you checked out, and then they try and find out what arm it's going to be better for. Oh, they also prick your blood just to take a bit, and then they sit you down, and I was on basically that chair in the middle that you can see there. So they lie you on it, and then the nurse came over, and at that point they said it was going to be my right arm, and I'd mentioned it, my left arm had been it last time. So my left arm is down, and he's looking for a vein. And at this point, I'm feeling super anxious. And I'm just like, yeah, all right, just don't think about it. And then they find the vein, and he's like, can I check your other arm? So I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's checking it. And then he goes, can I check your other arm again? And it's going back to this arm. And at this point, I am so anxious because I'm just like, oh my goodness, can he not find an exposed vein? And then he's like looking and tapping it and that, and I'm super anxious. And then he just pauses for a minute and goes, I'm just going to get my colleague who's more experienced at this, who's going to be able to help. And he brings her over. And I really respect the nurse saying that. Like, that's what you actually want to hear. And the nurse comes over, and as she comes over, he says, she never misses, which I thought that is such a bold thing to say. And so she checks it, is talking to me, and it's very... What I love about nurses is they're very matter-of-fact about things. They're just like, yeah, what have you been up to? What do you do for work? Started talking about virtual reality. I kid you not. The nurse... her family is really into gaming, and like I think her son has a PS5 but has been thinking about virtual reality, and she was asking about like what it's like playing VR, and I talked about horror, and in the end recommended playing Madison VR, which was a hilarious thing, me spelling it out to her. She inserted it, and you can see a bit of bruising there. The bruising there. Now, when the needle goes in, it's like a funny little sting for a very short period, like so small. And I think they say it's like the saline solution around it. That's what she said. And it goes in, and then you don't really feel it. And then I just wasn't... I'm not looking at my arm, because it's all that association psychology. If you look at your arm and you can see a needle in it, it's then going to hurt. And so they give you some exercises. Now, again, 16 years ago when I gave blood, to help with the flow, they gave you a squeegee toy, something like this, to just keep doing. And that is to like keep the blood pumping. That didn't make me feel good when I did that last time. This time, they say just open and close your hand. And also, like, you can do other exercises, like move your legs up and down slowly. So you're just doing stuff like that. I drank so much water during the day. They give you loads of water beforehand, so they make sure that you're hydrated. And you can like listen to music. You can watch stuff on your phone. I think I had like 3 tracks on my Spotify playlist queued up. And I was just lying on there. Now, if you don't like seeing needles, don't look at this image, I would say, but I would say you can't see anything too bad. So there was me lying down. Now, something I notice here is to the left of my head. Do you see that red card? Now, I didn't know that was put behind my head at the time. My assumption is that means I was a risk case in terms of I was nervous. I think that's what the red card is. So it means like check on him on a regular basis. So that was it. But as I scroll down, you're going to see the needle in a minute. And there's the Quest for Empathy shirt. What a great shirt. There you go. Look, there's the needle. There's the needle going into my arm. It doesn't even look real. Looks like it's just like a pen pressed against it. But yeah. So you're in there for like... they don't like it when you try and take a nap. Oh my goodness, never heard about that. Popsicle says, I hate feeling a prick. So yeah, that is the process. How do I close? Oh, there we go. I was trying to work out how to close this image. There we go. But yeah, it literally just looks like that, doing that, like a little press. That's what it looks like. And yeah, you're in there for like 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer, and then they take it out, put a little bandage on it that you keep pressed. They put a plaster on it, what's it called? Is it a band-aid? That's what you call it in America. Plaster. You have it on there, and you're told to keep it on for 6 hours. And then you take it off 6 hours later, and it's like a little mark. And it actually started bruising like a week later, or maybe a bit. Like it has that bruised look on it. And that was done. But the really good thing about it is at the very end, they don't let you go straight away because obviously you've just lost some of your blood. So what they do is they take you to a table, and they gave me a timer. As you can see, a timer, because it was like they treated me as like a first time. And yeah, and they check you. So here's me with some snacks there. Nice snacks. And oh, whoa, I just threw it away. Look at all these snacks, and you can just help yourself. I had some crisps. I was going to have more. They give you juice and everything. And so you have to sit down for 5 minutes. And basically, depending on how many times you've given blood, is like how much they monitor you at the end. But it was interesting because when the nurse said take a sit down there, I walked over the other direction to go and get my coat, and he went no there, and I went, oh, my coat's there. He's like, I'll bring it. Like they monitor you loads. 5 minutes, and then off you go, and then that is the process. So I am definitely in a state of mind now where I want to do it on a regular basis. To be honest, that's what I always felt when I gave it the first time, is it shouldn't be a one-off thing. I say shouldn't. You should only do it. You could do it. It's always a choice. Don't say should. It's could. Could always do it. And what I like is that you actually collect points every time you donate. And over time, you get like badges for the number of times you've donated. And then also on the app, on our app at least, I'm already scheduled in to donate again in November. My blood group is A-, and I've got 2 donation credits. And here we go. So what are donation credits? Let's find out here. Let's have a look. Let me zoom in a little bit here. We give our regular donors gifts and acknowledgements which mark important credit milestones. You'll receive a certain number of donation credits for each blood, plasma, or platelet donation you make. So here we go. First time, you get a welcome email, a letter, and digital donor card available in the NHS Blood app. 5, you get a bronze donor card. 10, you get a badge and certificate. 25, you get a silver donor card. 50, you get a gold donor card, badge and certificate. 75, you get an emerald donor card. 100, ceremony invitation, whole blood donors, ruby donor card or commemorative medal, badge and certificate. 150, 250, special frame certificate. Now, what I don't understand is men can donate every 3 months, women can donate every 4 months. What is that? That's 83 years. So I don't understand. That's 83 years to get to that. So how do you get higher? That means you live to like 200, unless I guess you get more for donating platelets and things like that, right? That must be what it's to do with. Oh, here we go. Yeah, look. Whole blood is 1 credit. Platelet is a double donation. Platelet triple donation. And plasma is a 2 credits. So that would make sense. But even so, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's interesting. Right, I want to read some of the chat and what everyone's been saying about it. So please do share your thoughts. Have you given blood? What's it like in your country? Because as I said, in the NHS, you know, it's the National Health Service, so you volunteer, you do it for free. Whereas in other countries where it's private healthcare, I assume you get paid for it, right? Have you had a text about your blood being used in a particular hospital? Let's have a look here. So I'm on the app. I'm not showing it on screen just because about you. Your donor history. Let's have a look. Doesn't say here. Donor milestones. It says there's an error. Okay, never mind. It's logged me out. I have a sunshade for my car that says 4 Seasons donor. That's very cool. That's very cool, Nick. Xenomorph says, a few years ago, I had chemotherapy every week for 30 weeks. That is brutal. And I hope you're better for it now. But mad respect for that. A minus, that is one of the rarer types. Hey, Ben, good to see you here, dude. A negative. Let's have a look. 1 in 13 donors is A negative. Around 8% have A negative blood. In comparison, 30% of donors have A positive. So who can receive it? So I don't actually know you're someone's type. Like, how does it work? Like, what is the difference between blood types? Here we go. Let's learn this. What are the rarest blood types? Wow, look at this. So I thought A would be one of the rarest. Turns out there's more. So AB negative is 1%. Wow. How do blood types work? Here we go. So your blood group is inherited from genes passed on by your parents. The two most important blood group systems for transfusion are the ABO and the RH. The ABO group system gives the letter part of your blood type, and the RH system gives the positive or negative part. Interesting. Okay. So there are 4 main blood groups in the ABO system. Each group is important, and we need donors from every group to ensure we have the right blood for people who need it. Which group you belong to depends on the antigens and the antibodies in your blood. Antigens are a combination of sugars and proteins that coat the surface of the red blood cell. Depending on your combination, you will have either no antigens, A antigens, B antigens, or both A and B. You also have antibodies in the clear part of the blood called plasma. Antibodies are important in transfusion because they are the body's natural defense system. They recognize any foreign antigens and tell your immune system to destroy them. That's why giving someone blood from the wrong ABO group can be life-threatening. It is the presence of A and B antigens and corresponding antibodies that determine your ABO blood group. There's so much here, man. It's moments like this, I'm just like, humans are just incredible people that have worked this out. The D antigen in the RH system determines whether you have positive or negative blood. If you have the RHD antigen, your blood type is positive. If you lack it, then it's negative. 77% of our donors are RHD positive. There are 4 other main antigens in the RH system. Your combination makes up your blood subtype. Man, that is a lot to get your head around. But yeah, there we go. The blood disparity gap, they do it with wages here in North America. So is that it, right? Just having a look here. Glad to hear you're cancer-free. I was going to do the clap emoji sound effect, but that would seem a bit patronizing. But that's amazing to hear. Much love for that. Let's have a look. I'm O negative. What was O negative? Okay, they used to call me all the time. See, even that, like, they're all quite rare. Oh, actually, no, sorry, I thought it was in order. So A positive is 30%. Okay, interesting. The whole stuff about blood types for some reason makes me squeamish. I mean, to be honest, any idea of thinking about blood and how it works freaks me out a lot of the time. GameCat Behemoth goes, I'm the rarest, AB negative. It used to be 5% of the world. Wow. Kira says, in Germany, actually, let me bring it up here. In Germany, you can donate at certain hospitals, and I donated regularly at a plasma centre where you get paid €12 per donation and extra when you reach milestones. People pay groceries of it. So I've been told donating plasma, I'm curious to know what that's like, if it's pretty much the same. So donating platelets... you've donated plasma. I'd be curious to know how it differs. Platelets, I hear, is like... It's a much wider needle, isn't it? Because it's having to filter out the platelets that is used for clotting the blood. So I hear it's more painful, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to know. Popsicle says, London, born and raised, and love the NHS. Hope this new government pays the nurses more. Me too. Me too. Can be. Oh, yeah, it was saying it can be life-threatening. Should it say will be deadly? I mean, you don't want to take that chance. Yeah, it is a bigger needle for plasma. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for me or anyone in the chat that's donated blood before? And is there anyone here that would love to donate blood but is just too afraid to? Because let's just be honest about it. I was slightly nervous about going, and when I got there, I was then really nervous, just wanting to get it done and the waiting round. But the staff are just amazing. And so, yeah, I'm booked in for November for my next one. But yeah, have I got any more photos? But yeah, the at the end, the biscuits and the crisps, or the cookies and chips, as you would say in the States, is very important. Kira says plasma is definitely more uncomfortable with the taking out and pumping in plasma. I have a video on my Insta about it. Wow. Do share in the in Discord about that. That'd be amazing. Right, I've got some interesting facts here that I've used Perplexity, the AI app, to sort of dig around. So, frequency of need, right? So, in the US, someone needs blood every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. Do you know what? Let me put this on screen. Let's go through this together. Can I zoom in on this? Yeah, that's better. That's better. Here we go. Daily requirements. This is all US. Approximately 29,000 units of red blood cells are needed every day. But what are units? Donation statistics. This is from the Red Cross blood section. An estimated 6.8 million people in the US donate blood each year, and 13.6 million units of whole blood and red blood cells are collected annually in the US. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, what an amazing thing when you think about it. As a human species, we've literally found a way to collect blood so we can give it to each other to save lives. And I've often heard, it might actually say it here a bit later, but donating blood usually saves multiple lives. They say save a life, but yeah. And a unit is 470 milliliters. Okay, interesting. Mojo says, I'm not scared. I just don't like getting jabbed. With COVID vaccines, I was anxious, and I'd probably be anxious when I got there and when it was getting done, but I'd like to find out my blood type. I mean, that is kind of a fun thing to do it. I would especially say, Mojo, with the NHS. Well, there's two things. Firstly, I would recommend giving it a go, but signing up with a friend, going with a friend and doing it together. That can be a really, really good way of doing it. And again, you can take your phone with you. You can have your earphones in. And so what I did was as I was getting ready to do it, I had a song ready on Spotify and I started playing. It was actually the Myles Dyer live playlist, which, by the way, you can check out on Spotify. I was listening to this while I was donating blood, and it was making me feel so much better. But yeah, that is something I'd say. And it will be on your birth certificate, yeah. But yeah, others are saying buddy up as well. If you can, persuade a friend, definitely. I definitely recommend that. That would make it a lot better. If you donate blood regularly, you also get reports on your cholesterol and stuff. Nice to keep track of it that way. That is a good way. That's a good thing at all. Yeah, if you do, honestly, if anyone here after this show goes and donates blood, definitely let us know how you get on. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's completely natural to feel like anxious there, but just tell the staff, because then they just talk to you about it, and like they sit you down, and you know, you put your arm out, and it's all the context. You're there, you're going, there is something going in my arm, and it's going to start drawing blood. But it's like, it goes in. You just like, you feel a little sting, but it's that kind of like funny feeling sting. Like, it's not like a sharp, it might be like a little pinch or something. I'm sort of doing it now, and now I'm hurting myself because I'm grabbing the bit that does it. It's just a bit sensitive, and then you just don't look at it. And it's funny, when I was taking that selfie, and it's actually, I wasn't looking at the needle in sight, because I just know the psychological trick that as soon as your eye, it's like when you bang your foot or something, or, you know, you cut yourself, you don't notice it, and then as soon as you see it, that's when the pain kicks in. Chris says, my blood is full of chemicals. I don't think they'd want it. Well, they give you a survey beforehand to fill out, and then they have a phone number if you want to phone up. So before I turned up, I actually spoke to someone on the phone, and I go through each of those things, and they ask questions and that to see if you can do it. But yeah, going back to some of this. Wow, okay, so red blood cells must be used within 42 days. And platelets must be used within 5 days. Now, I guess that is because platelets are responsible for clotting. But that's really interesting. So 5 days, within 5 days, and 42 days. That's it. So men can donate blood every 12 weeks. Women can donate blood every 16 weeks. So for men, every 3 months, every quarter. And for women, it's every third. About 118.5 million blood donations are collected worldwide annually. That is phenomenal. I can't even get my head around that. That's incredible. 40% of those are collected in high-income countries, which are home to only 16% of the world's population. So that's interesting about, like, disparity there. A single car accident victim can require up to 100 units of blood. Wow. And, here we go. One donation can help save more than one life. What other questions we got here? What are the benefits of donating blood? I hear it's like it's healthy for you, but I'm like curious to know about that. So it saves lives. I'd say that's a pretty good thing, wouldn't you? Saving lives is definitely a good thing when it comes to donations. You can do the 5-mile stare where you look at a dot or a corner, imagine it 5 miles back, putting you in the zone. That's interesting. I've not heard of that one before. That's kind of a cool technique. I like that. Health screening. So donors receive a free medical physical before donating, which can detect potential health issues. Cardiovascular health. Regular blood donation is linked to lower blood pressure and a reduced risk of heart attacks. It may help lower blood viscosity, which is associated with blood clots, heart attacks, and strokes. That's interesting. So calorie burn, donating blood can burn approximately 650 calories as the body works to replace the donated blood cells. That's interesting. Myles, would you ever consider donating your organs? God, that's a really interesting question. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. After I've gone through this list, I'll answer the organ question. Emotional well-being. Helping others through blood donation can reduce stress, improve emotional well-being, and provide a sense of belonging. That's absolutely true. There's a real sense of, like, you're there and you're just like, look at all these amazing people doing this. You, of course, never really think about it yourself, but, like, the staff that work there and just seeing people from all walks of life turning up and, like, taking time out their day. They don't have to be there. And they've decided, you know what, I'm going to donate blood. Possible cancer risk reduction. Community involvement. So a sense of community, yeah. Identifying rare blood types. Potential financial compensation, so some donation centres offer monetary compensation. and management of hemochromatosis. For individuals with hereditary hemochromatosis, regular blood donation can help manage their condition while benefiting others. So yeah, okay, there we go. So it does have health benefits. That's cool. So I was asked about organ donation. I'm not currently an organ donor. I'm wondering if people should be automatically signed up to it. It's such a weird thing, right? I heard a story on the radio, and this is one of those things that is just like, it's such a freak incident, but it's always stayed with me. And it's completely irrational, I think, what I'm about to say. But someone's brother had died on the operating table, and they asked if they could cut him up because he was an organ donor, or he hadn't actually signed up. I think the family were asked, and they said no. And then it was like literally moments later he came to again and survived. And they were literally, because they have to like extract the organs pretty quickly, I hear. So yeah, I find that absolutely terrifying. Organ donation is super, super important. So yeah, I'm not an organ donor. I feel like I should be, but a part of me is just terrified by I'm telling you now, it's completely irrational. Completely irrational, I think. And I need to just do it. But like, I've been fearful of doing blood donation, and I wish I started sooner again. But I'm starting now, and there's no better time to start than today. And that is what I've done. So I'm already signed up for my next appointment in November, and hopefully it will get easier the more I do it, because you'll just get used to it. So yeah, that is my blood donation story. Bit of a low energy show today from me, just because I am exhausted and I'm still getting back into the flow of stuff. But Mojo, no, you haven't put me on the spot with that. It's a good question, and whenever I'm asked questions, I'm always within my right to reject them. But I also like to be challenged, and I think it's healthy. So yeah, organ donation is something I definitely feel I should probably reconsider. Oh. So tired. So tired. So I would just say that to anyone out there, if you've got any questions, I've got links for blood donation in the UK and in the US in the description of this video. Do check it out. Especially in the UK, they've got a NHS Giving Blood like social media that's amazing. And when I mentioned I was nervous on my Instagram story, someone from the Giving Blood NHS Instagram messaged me and gave me some reassuring words, which I thought was absolutely incredible. And yeah, and Chris says still trying to generate the blood you've lost. Yeah, it takes time actually to replenish all your blood, so that'll be about it. And Nick, I like that. You'll be a pro in no time. And it's just great, and I love all the people that have been sharing their stories. So yeah, if anyone here does donate, sign up. Like I would say right now, as soon as this show ends, just go on the website and just sign up, because I think that's the one thing is sign up. It sometimes is months away. You can cancel at any time. But just go along. And even as I was sat there about to give blood, they go, if you don't want to do it, you can stop at any time. Like that is the thing. Just go along with the process, and you can stop at any time, because you doing that will save at least one life. And I just think it's an amazing thing to do. But at the same time, I don't want people to feel pressured to do it. But I just want people to feel motivated to do it, because I think it is a great thing. So yeah, that is my donating blood story. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I know I haven't done any housekeeping at the beginning, but this is just me getting back into the swing of things. I am going to be getting back to doing PSVR 2 Let's Plays, which I have very much missed. Also, we'll be doing it with this very, very soon. And also, PSVR Without Parole is on tonight, and I'm going to be on the show. So if you are about in an hour's time, head on over there. I'm going to try and stay awake. And I say I'm trying to stay awake as I'm yawning. But yeah, I might have a little nap for the moment or something like that. But it's it's been a really hectic couple of months, but really exciting stuff is happening, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. But it's kind of that thing of, I could talk about it now, but I don't really want to. Not because I'm superstitious, but I want to get there first before I do. So much love, everyone. Do take care of yourselves. And do hit the like button if you haven't already. Only 14 of you have liked this, and many of you are watching, but I also appreciate not everyone who watches has a YouTube account. But yeah, love you all. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
On the road, I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Was a bit quiet at the end. I love people reminding me to take this off. It's a nice tight fit though. Feels like a nice hug. Liked it a lot. Something else I did this week was I mentioned ages ago that when I had my kitchen renovated, I was potentially going to have to get rid of my driving sim rig. And I managed to fit it under the stairs. But the problem with having it under the stairs is because you've got like the ceiling coming down in front of you and it's a small little cupboard. You got white walls all around you, and so your VR headset can't do any tracking. Well, you could put posters up. I put a couple of posters up and it now works out really, really well. So I've been playing a bit of Gran Turismo 7 in VR and I'm having an absolute blast with it. Loving it. Been playing like only half an hour of that a day, and I've not really been playing much else VR, so I've been missing that. But I tell you what, it's never been so interesting trying to decide what posters to put up, because you want to choose posters to put up there, but they're posters you're never going to see because the only time you're in there is when you're wearing a VR headset. So it's like, what posters do I want that I don't want that much that I'm not going to mind not seeing them? It was an interesting one. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.